You're live. How are you?
Alive.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh, the cat attacked us. Okay, today's theme was Kirstie because she passed away earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall what the options were?
Village of the Damned.
Yep. Blind Date.
Which I've never seen.
Shoot to Kill.
Which has been a long time since I've seen.
Deconstructing Harry.
I was curious to revisit that, but
And Nevada.
Which I've never seen. So deep cuts.
There are always comments about why we didn't choose the more popular ones, but we don't choose the popular ones because
everybody's going to pick Wrath of Kahn or Look Who's Talking.
Yeah. Or Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Or Drop Dead Gorgeous, which I've seen many times. And I had no inclination to revisit any Look Who's Talking film because I can't stand those. But
I recall watching them and thinking they weren't great.
They're hard to get through.
Okay, so overwhelmingly Village of the Damned won. I don't know that I'd seen this movie.
Yes, you have.
I have?
Yes, because it's
the 1995 version.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 1960,
directed by Wolf Rilla, which was a British production. And, back then you couldn't say the words pregnant or impregnated or abortion. So there was a lot that they couldn't even really delve into from the adaptation because it's based on a book by John Wyndham, who's a science fiction writer. He also wrote something called The Day of the Triffids, which I think I read as a kid.
Well, the basic story for this movie is there's a town, like a little town called Midwich.
Mm-hmm.
And one day there's an event where every living thing in this very particular area just collapses. Like you would assume they're dead. So an epidemiologist is called, played by Kirstie.
Mm-hmm.
She comes in and she works for some agency. And as she's investigating, everyone wakes up. And we find out that 10 women in the little area are pregnant at the same, like they became pregnant on the same day. They all deliver their babies on the same day. It's important to know one of them, a young lady who claims to be a virgin, who became pregnant, her baby is stillborn. So we find out that they all became pregnant by, I guess, like aliens. Mm-hmm. Because Kirstie takes that stillborn baby and she's been keeping it. And we see that it looks like what you think of an alien, like big old light bulb head, big eyes. But the remaining 9 children are all sort of like, they're these creepy little towhead kids. And their mission is to take over the world. So one of the parents of the kids is Christopher Reeves, who's the town doctor. He and Kirstie are kind of, she confides in him what's happening, that this is not the first time, this has happened in other small areas, but the kids usually die.
Mm-hmm.
But in this instance, they are persisting because we see them, like maybe they're like 8 years old. And the time period from when the women become pregnant to when we see them as 8 years old is like 15 minutes. It's very rapid. We find out that things have gotten out of hand because the kids have said, like, we want to go live on our own on the outskirts of town to execute our plan. And then Kirstie tells Christopher Reeves that the government's going to come and blow this bitch up. The kids end up killing her. And then Christopher Reeves has figured out that he can block his mind because these little kids can read minds. He's blocked his mind so they don't know what he's up to, but he brings a bomb into the building where all the kids are like living now. And the bomb explodes, kills the kids and Christopher Reeves. But the one kid, David, so each of the kids has a partner, like boy, girl, but little David, his partner, the girl, is the one who was stillborn. So he's always kind of been like an outsider to the rest. And they also don't believe in emotions, but he seems to have developed emotion. So his mom is able, he has some feelings about his mom and he decides to save her and let her take him away from the other kids. So 8 of the kids are killed and little David survives the end. So it's pretty basic.
Yes,
I did enjoy the movie though.
And it clips by very quickly.
My first note is I thought this movie should have been called Village of the Cigarettes because there is so much smoking.
Well, it was the 90s.
Kirstie is smoking in every scene. She's even smoking in the hospital.
Yep, but the clinic, yep.
She has to like actually throw her cigarette away to go like deliver a baby, I think. So it's too much. And then speaking of smoking, one like the opening scene, doesn't the guy say like she asks?
Oh yeah, so Linda Kozlowski plays David's mother, and she's married to Michael Paré, who I think was in this Mariel Hemingway werewolf movie Bad Moon. But he's smoking in the truck, and she tells him to stop. He's like, "I'll stop smoking when
you get pregnant.
When you decide to get pregnant." Like,
I did think it's a very creepy premise that there's like an incident, like in this case, like this blackout where everyone passes out, and then that's the day that everyone became pregnant. So then Kirstie meets with the community and says, like, obviously this is strange and we want to help. So this is a very personal decision. You all can choose to, you can elect to terminate the pregnancies, but if you choose to keep the babies, of course, the government wants to study them. And we'll give you $3,000 a month as an allowance to do so. And it's funny because these people are all enraged. And then when they hear about $3,000, they're like, okay, it's fine. Like, your wife might have like an alien baby in her.
Your wife is literally a host right now for something that you didn't put in her.
And we watched it with a friend. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, like, I mean, obviously he can't, not obviously, but he cannot carry a baby. And he said he would. Would you?
I don't know. Well, I don't know that I'd want any child in me, but
if I thought that there was an alien baby in me, no. 3,000 is not going to cut it.
Cut it out. But by 1995, small town standards.
I don't know. But then when all the babies are being like all the women are in labor at the same time, and then Kirstie has to deliver a baby. I should have looked this up, but epidemiologists are like PhDs, right? They're not MDs, but they put a surgical gown on her. Like she knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh, she snatched that baby right between that girl's legs.
And then she delivers the baby, and then she takes it immediately and runs to her car. I thought that was a funny scene because we didn't mention, or I didn't mention, the priest, like the town priest is played by
Mark Hamill. And
he sees Kirstie take that baby and run to her car. And he's like, what are you doing with that baby? I saw you run to your car. He doesn't have much to do except.
No, this was kind of the dark days for Mark Hamill before he had a renaissance and a reappreciation of his talents.
I like seeing him on screen. I thought a funny scene was there's like the town drunk who's also the janitor at the school. And there's a scene where he kind of like the alien kids get left alone in the classroom and the janitor comes in and he's clearly drunk. And he goes off on those kids, screaming at them. And of course they kill his ass by making him climb a ladder. And then he puts like a broom to his chest.
That's a complex death. Yeah.
And then he like jumps off the roof and like lands on like an automobile and like bursts the windshield open and the broom goes through his chest.
There's a lot of silliness to it, obviously. I mean, this is a B movie. This concept is, the stuff of B sci-fi, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, even though there are great film versions of that. But I remember watching Arachnophobia on TV as a kid, and the trailer for this popped up. I remember it very well, and I was like, immediately felt like I had to see this film.
Okay.
And I remember kind of being a little bit obsessed about it, and the book, The Midwich Cuckoos, which a cuckoo bird is something that it's a bird that lays its eggs in something else's nest for it to raise, and how metaphorically applying that to women, I always thought was very striking and weird and creepy. But
Kirstie, she's confiding in Christopher Reeves because of the town doctor, and she needs help because things have gotten out of control. But she's explaining to him. She shows him the little alien baby, and then she says, "I have a theory. Like there are 3 options. 2 of them I don't remember what they mean, but parthenogenesis or parthenogenesis and xenogenesis." And she explains what they are. But then she says, oh, and the CIA had a program back in the day where they gave men like a bunch of LSD to see how it affects like genetics. And I thought that was a very specific thing that she just said, like, yeah, don't you know that the government gave everyone LSD?
Don't you know that the government's probably experimenting on you? And I'm a representative of the government, kind of.
One of the actors in the movie who I thought was quite handsome, he looked like Kenny Loggins.
That's Jason.
Kenny Rogers, sorry.
Peter Jason, who's in John Carpenter likes using him. He's in quite a few.
Anyway, he gets mouthy with some of the alien kids because he's looking for one of one of his child is also one of these alien kids, and he gets mouthy saying like, "I want my daughter. I'm gonna go get her." And they force him to drive his truck like off a ledge, and it like rams into a fuel tank. I thought that was funny.
No, I think Kirstie is actually kind of a lot of fun in this.
Yes.
In that
her updo, with her serious businesswoman updo.
Well, who was apparently going out of Midwich to have her hair done, I guess, as was Linda Kozlowski, who I thought looked fantastic. But Kirstie,
her hair did look very nice.
And at times, Kozlowski, who is probably best known for the Crocodile Dundee films, she reminded me of Lana Turner at certain moments with the makeup and lighting in this.
Speaking of makeup, the one...
Oh, sorry, I was going to say Kirstie Alley in that fine tradition of these kind of cool, calm, collected ice queens that are women scientists in film, kind of like Barbara Steele and Piranha. Is what I get from her in this. But
no, I was gonna say the one woman who was a virgin who got pregnant, and of course, like after she loses her baby, she's like emotionally distraught. And there's a scene where she's sitting in the graveyard.
I can't hack it.
Talking to the little boy.
Oh, Thomas Dekker,
noted homosexual. He's a cute little kid.
He was cute,
but he's in the graveyard, sort of commiserating with her, kind of, because he doesn't have emotion, so he's kind of just like glaring at her. But I thought it was funny that she had on a lot of makeup for someone who's so distraught sitting in the graveyard.
Yes, that's Meredith Salenger, who is in the film The Kiss as well.
Oh, well, what else you got to say about this movie?
Besides these little Nazis that this town, it's like I want to see some kind of switch up of this scenario, or in any other community, like in a group of Black women, or a white community where they all have these like little Black kids, and how then they would react to that.
I think that would be fun, but I thought like their powers seem to be very like, it's based on propinquity, so I feel like they don't seem like that big of a threat. Like, y'all should have bombed that little building a lot sooner when these kids start killing folks. But I do think the premise is very interesting. Those kids were very creepy.
It's Christopher Reeve in his last performance before his debilitating accident.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is notable for that. I think Lindsey Haun, who plays Mara, the lead girl, leaves a lasting impression.
Yes, she does. And I have to say, all of those kids did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the director. Who's the director?
John Carpenter.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about John Carpenter in the 90s and kind of...
You want to talk about John Carpenter now? Go ahead.
Well, the 90s was a little more rough for him because it started out with Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Well, when's The Thing?
The Thing was 1982.
Oh. Okay.
Which is also a remake of an earlier 50s sci-fi film. But this and In the Mouth of Madness, which he filmed back-to-back, I think are kind of impressive. In the Mouth of Madness, maybe more so, because he was kind of a director for hire on this. This wasn't something he was really passionate about doing, but I still think it's a lot of fun, because he also co-wrote the score as usual, and it does have a very 90s feel to it, which I really appreciate, because it takes itself very seriously, but it's also built upon this kind of outlandish premise.
Yes. Yeah, I would give it 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I thought
it was very good.
It's a lot of fun,
and it went by. It's 90 minutes, but I was very surprised when the movie ended. It went by so quickly.
But I probably saw it at an age where I was very impressionable. So when Christopher Reeve, his wife, sticks her hand in the boiling pot of water, like all of those feel like yesterday that I just saw. Those are burned into my mind. Or when the first two victims are like women, are both, I think, both Asian women, which is also interesting.
His wife, and then the optometrist.
Yeah.
What was in her little tray? What does the optometrist have in their little tray that could like make someone go blind, and it's just sitting there? I thought that was kind of silly. I don't know,
but I thought Mara kind of looked like she has a little old lady face. Kind of looked like Ellen Burstyn at times to me.
Yeah, she had a disturbing look. Okay, I'm gonna go through the comments. Yes, this was the Kirstie Alley, Christopher Reeve's version. I don't know that I've seen the original.
We own it, and of course, there's a sequel to the original, Children of the Damned, which I really don't like.
Oh,
but worth a watch.
Who's in that one?
I don't know. It's British from the 60s.
Oh, the sequel is the sequel to the original.
Yes.
Oh,
and there was a British television version of this past year called the reusing the name of the book, Midwich Cuckoos, which I haven't seen.
Oh, I would check that out.
Mm-hmm.
How long am I going to grow my hair out? I don't know. I was thinking tomorrow I might cut it, so who knows? Maybe just the sides.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see how I feel. It's hard for me to keep. Yeah, my hair is a struggle.
Same.
Same. If you like our t-shirts, well, Nick's is not one of our t-shirts, but mine is. Mm-hmm. So there's a link below if someone wants to purchase. But you do have a Sigourney Weaver inspired design.
I do, yes.
Did I say hi, Belgium? Hi, Belgium again. No for richer or poorer.
Oh yeah, that's a notable Kirstie Alley. So is The Bunny's Tale, where she plays Gloria Steinem from the 80s. Yeah, For Richer or Poor, I remember liking with Tim Allen. I love Freeway with Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland, Matthew Bright film. Bokeem Woodbine is very good in that. Amanda Plummer.
Oh, I told you that someone said that they may have used some of your literary knowledge to interview for a bookstore.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said, but good.
Yeah. What book did you throw out there that Nick said that didn't get you fired? Welcome. You mentioned Freeway. Hi, South Africa. Yes, rest in peace, Kirstie Alley. We didn't talk about her. I know her best from watching Cheers as a kid.
Veronica's Closet.
And then in college, I remember watching Veronica's Closet.
But it's interesting. She had, quite a few genre films in her filmography. But I remember her as a kid because I remember thinking she was beautiful. She has kind of not unlike Meg Foster, those beautiful kind of cat eyes.
And then I know she was a Scientologist, but I feel like I know she made some questionable comments.
A lot, yeah.
Like at times, but as we all do. And I don't know that lady to say anything negative about her. No, I just have fond memories of what I do remember of her.
And then towards the end of her career, where she became synonymous with weight issues, and
which I'm sure was very hard as a celebrity, or it is hard.
But I think because what was that series she did for a Big Fat Actress, where she's kind of directly bringing it into the cultural conversation in ways that we're trying to be more respectful, is what I remember. But
hello Pacific Northwest, thank you for buying a t-shirt. Well, $3,000 a month, yeah.
Hey, that's some mortgage payments depending on where you're at.
Well, I had questions like, do they get that money
in perpetuity,
or just for prenatal stuff? Yeah, because I feel like $30,000 is not enough money for me to have an alien baby. Nick rolling his eyes. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing that it's interesting that David is the character who develops empathy because he's an automatic outsider, and his mother kind of gives him the most love and nurture.
Yeah. Linda Kozlowski was in a funny overlooked movie called Past the Ammo.
I have not seen that. I enjoy her.
Oh, I got ahead of myself. Ask if this was Nazi like blonde hair. Hello.
Yeah, they're like a little Aryan race, fascists.
We're distracting people from wrapping presents. Who directed the? Oh yeah. Oh, what is your favorite food? Nick likes pizza.
I do like pizza. Good pizza though.
You ordered pizza last night and it was.
I did.
Well, you ordered pizza last night that was delivered, and then you looked so disappointed because you were like, feel how heavy this box is. That pizza box felt like it weighed like there was nothing in it.
Mm-hmm. Like the cardboard.
I prefer deep dish.
Depends.
Or hand tossed. I like a thicker, but that super thin shit. No. Although New York style.
I do like New York style.
I like it when it's chewy and you can fold it. I guess I just don't like thin crust, like where it feels like I'm eating off of a cracker.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite food is Mexican food. People are saying nice things. Thank you. Nick saw Avatar last week.
Yeah, I saw it a couple of days ago, and then I'm bringing you to a screening on Monday.
You liked it?
I did. It's very visually impressive, and I was quite entertained by Sigourney as a 14-year-old. But I think reviews are still under embargo.
Oh, a theme for live review could be Almodovar films.
Are you familiar with any? We reviewed All About My Mother.
I know the one about I'm So Excited.
Yeah, you like that a lot.
I like that one.
The Skin I Live In is a favorite. Bad Education, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. I think at a movie night back when we were first dating for Law of Desire.
Oh, I don't remember that. Do you think Alien 3 is an underappreciated classic?
Yes. I think it has its own little catharsis, but it's very morose and maudlin and grungy in a way that's unbelievable for a studio franchise film. I think William Gibson published his treatment of it, which I have a copy of that I wanted to read, but
someone had beef with Kirstie on Twitter.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, well, tell us about that. I always think about her bringing Wendy Williams socks with Kirstie Alley brought Wendy Williams socks with Tupac on them?
Oh, God.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, this is the person who drew the pictures of us? Is X Joseph X? Is that? My memory is really bad. I do remember. All right. I can recall the image on Instagram, but I don't know who drew it. So if that's you, that was very nice. Thank you. My memory is so bad. I know her views started to shadow her life's work, but I've seen her in stuff throughout my life. The bikini reveal on Oprah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was judged so harshly for her body. It's so weird. Would we ever be guests on the How Did This Get Made podcast? Of course.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want us, but yeah, of course. Actually, I was just listening to How Did This Get Made this morning. They did the movie 12 Pups of Christmas or something.
Oh, God.
It sounds like something I want to watch. What is the name of the 70s movie where cultists slow chase an older man in his house with glowing drinks and a tall, thin glass, wanting him to drink it to live forever, chanting, "Join us"?
Oh, I don't know, but that sounds amazing.
They asked the person with the bookstore. They asked where I find book referrals. Mentioned too that being part of this movie club has led me to books turned into films, etc. That crawfish one. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Someone wants to meet, eat, drink, and commiserate and be merry. That sounds nice.
Opa.
Come to New York and we'll have pizza. Oh. Speaking of California Pizza Kitchen, I know people love it, but I don't think the pizza is that great. I'm sorry.
It's not my go-to.
Well, you know what the other issue is? When I first started working for the company I work for now, like 8 years ago, our offices were somewhere else near a California Pizza Kitchen. So that would be like where we would always go for lunch meetings. Mm-hmm. And I got so tired of that shit. But I have fond memories. There used to be a California Pizza kitchen at the Beverly Center.
Yeah.
And we went once or twice. I think I'm reminiscing about that because there used to be a P.F. Chang's on the other side. And they're both gone now.
Oh, what was that other place we would go to happy hour over there? At the
Yard House?
Center? No.
Oh, I don't remember. Aliens and Pizza Night.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Okay. I'm losing my place. Did you see Close, our Belgium film from Lucas de Hont?
Lucas Don't. Yeah, who also directed Girl. Yeah, I reviewed that out of Cannes. We have a screener I'd like Joseph to watch because I think he'd like it. It was very well. I think that won second place at Cannes. Robert.
Oh,
that's a good Penelope Cruz performance in that.
Oh yeah, our shirts are looking at each other. I can't change the designs because I didn't make them, so I might update them in the future, but I have to pay for all that. Pet peeves of today. I had one this morning as I was getting ready. Can you think of a pet peeve?
There's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Oh, I know what my pet peeve this morning was because I was listening to another podcast. When you ask people where they're from, like where were you born? I don't mean like how people ask me where I'm from because they want to know my ethnic background. I mean like literally like, oh, where in the country were you born? And then people can't give you a straight answer. It's like, where were you born? And if you were raised, like if you're a military kid, like just explain it. Because I was listening to someone talk about how they're from like New York, Chicago, Florida. You can't have been born in all three. Like the question was, where were you born?
Where were you made your exit point from your mother into the world?
Yeah, it's a very specific gripe because this person was asking him, where were you born? And he couldn't give a straight answer. And then he sounded crazy. Like, you were born in Florida. You're trying to sound like you're like metropolitan, but you were born in Florida. Just say you were born in Florida. That's a pet peeve. Do I have a good visual memory?
Joseph? No.
I remember faces. I'm good with that.
No, I don't know whose.
I don't know the names, but I'll know that I recognize someone.
Sometimes. You're a bit scattershot.
Are we going to see the Megan? I would really like to see the Megan.
Yeah, we're going to see Megan. I'm actually been tapped to review that for Spin Magazine.
When Kirstie was saying crazy shit, Judd Apatow commented on one of her posts, Shelley Long was funnier than you. When people ask about celeb crushes, I don't know. There's no one in my head like actively.
No, I mean,
but lots of people are good looking, but yeah. I don't have crushes on anyone. Like not like not a celebrity.
No,
I'd be more inclined if I had crushes, they'd be on like people I could actually interact with. The cat is she's mad. Will you be doing any TV reviews? I mean, unless it's like a series on Netflix. I don't think we'll like review.
No, we did just watch Wednesday.
We did just watch Wednesday. I guess we'll talk about it on the podcast.
TV's tomorrow. Just very hard to keep up with. Because film is hard to keep up with. I feel like I'm always drowning.
What are your thoughts on Kiyoshi Kurosawa?
I like him for the most part. His weird kind of lo-fi sci-fi films that he does a lot. My favorite is probably Cure, though, which has some incredibly creepy moments. I think that just got a Criterion release as well. And Charisma from 1999 is a really odd film.
A theme for the lives could be Robert Downey Sr. He had some fun movies.
I'd love to rewatch Putney Swope, which I've been trying to get you to watch for years. But
have you seen Leonore Will Never Die?
No, but we talked about it on the podcast. I have a screener for it. It sounds very interesting. Filipino film.
Could we review The Bird? The Birdcage would be a great one too.
That's a movie I could watch anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
And I like La Cage aux Folles as well, but the Mike Nichols version, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are so good, especially Nathan Lane.
Well, even Agador Spartacus.
Oh, Hank Azaria, Diane Weiss, Gene Hackman, they're all.
You know who I don't like in The Birdcage, who drives me crazy, is the son.
And Calista
I think he is so selfish.
And Calista Flockhart.
Well, she's just kind of like a simp, but the son makes me so upset every time I watch that.
He's supposed to, though.
I know, but he's so selfish. Thank you, Al Watch. Can y'all review SZA's new album or at least listen to Kill Bill? Love y'all if this is true. Well, I guess I don't, to be honest, don't really know SZA's music that well. So I could listen. Maybe my next day at the gym, I'll stream it while I'm working out.
And see what you think.
We're making someone hungry. Where's our cat?
With
She's
the cat?
Right here. What's for dinner this evening?
Oh,
well, Nick is going to to a fancy hotel to interview someone.
To perform.
Dance, monkey, dance. And then
yes, I'll be doing a live Q&A after a screening at the Four Seasons.
And then I will be at my company's holiday party. So I'm assuming there will be heavy hors d'oeuvres at this shindig. But yeah, so hopefully there will be food. Have you seen the film Piggy?
Yeah, we watched that out of Sundance. I think we both thought it was fine.
What do I think of people who don't listen to the podcast? I don't know. Well, podcasts aren't for everyone.
That's true.
I enjoy them while I work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a time commitment. I mean, granted, a kind of a passive one, but if you don't have a part of your day where you have the ability to just listen to people randomly talking, and everybody has a podcast.
When I was commuting to work, which was like 15 minutes each way before the pandemic, I could knock out like a podcast each day, like episode. But now that I don't really, well, now that I sit at a desk all day in my house, I do play podcasts regularly. But I know they're not for everyone. I do think if people find us amusing, or they find Nick, in particular, if they find Nick very informative, then the podcast would be a good thing to listen to, because you get to talk more about stuff there.
Sure. Rambling.
Have you seen the movie Ideal Home?
Yeah, we watched that with Paul Rudd and C. Coogan.
Oh, we did watch that.
I think that's God, what's his name? Andrew Fleming directed that, who did Dick, which I love, and The Craft.
I am interested in watching the Meghan and Harry doc. Just because I don't know anything about those people. So this might be my one shot to kind of figure out all I need to know. And Emancipation, it was hard to sit through.
Like every slave movie.
So I wouldn't have watched it, except I felt like I needed to. But yeah, I don't blame people for not wanting to watch it. We did start the Chucky series, but we didn't finish it. If the additional episodes are like on, the first 2 episodes were on YouTube, because we don't have USA actually we probably do have USA and Sci-Fi. But if the other episodes are on YouTube, I would probably finish them. Interview with the Vampire TV show is amazing. You should review that. Oh, I do want to watch Interview with the Vampire TV series.
Same.
Do you know what it's on?
No, no.
What is Interview with the Vampire, the series? Like what platform?
Is it Hulu? I don't
know. Does Nick not care for Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan?
I've never seen it.
It's not that. I just don't like when we pick when we do the lives and we do the poll. If we put like more popular movies, people always vote for those. So then it's like the other ones don't stand a chance. So that's why I always try to pick more obscure, or like films I think are equally obscure, so that they have a better shot.
What you should do is start picking the one that's least voted for, and then that will satisfy it'll satisfy your underdog syndrome.
That'll teach. Yeah, I think I have underdog syndrome, but yeah, I should start choosing the one that gets the least amount of votes. Although I believe in democracy. Why do we sound so low? Like the volume? Is the volume low?
Because we're all marching towards our death. No, I don't know. Maybe.
Or is it like our voices sound low? Should I pull this closer to me? It's too late now after 30 minutes. People like us both together. Well, that's good. Have you ever reviewed anything with Linda Florentino?
No, well, she hasn't worked in forever. So since we've started our channel, no.
Have you seen The Last Seduction?
Oh, I love The Last Seduction and Jade. Oh my God. I made you watch Jade. You probably have no memory of it, but I do really like that. And her performance in Last Seduction is really quite good.
Do you like Titus Andronicus?
Yes, which as Julie Taymor directed it, but Jessica, excellent Jessica Lange performance. What's the line from that I love? When you have the honey you desire, let not this wasp outlive us both to sting, which he tells her sons after they rape Titus's daughter and cut out her tongue and cut off her hands. It's very violent. Yes.
I'm glad people like the podcast. I think it's fun to do. I have this hoodie as well, and I went to work yesterday with the hoodie on, and it took people so long to realize that it was not Poetic Justice, Janet, whatever. Paul Rudd, your crush. He's very cute.
He is.
Do you find it an interesting choice that Gerard Carmichael is hosting the?
Oh, I didn't know.
Jared Carmichael's hosting the. I did know that.
I think he'll do just fine. I think he's funny. I think that's less of an odd choice than, I don't know, Kristen Stewart being the jury president of Berlin this year.
Well, in the Golden Globes, the hosts tend to be a little more provocative than the Oscars, right?
Yes.
So I think, it'll be, I guess, interesting. I don't know that I think it's that interesting, but good for him.
Well, the Globes are desperately trying to overcome all their issues.
I mean, I think he should do it. It's a bigger platform.
It would be smart for him to do it.
Yeah.
And
Interview with the Vampires on AMC. Oh, wait, but someone else said HBO. Well, I can figure.
We can find it.
Our quick thoughts on Wednesday. I enjoyed it well enough. That was also when we were sick, so I was stuck in bed for almost 3 days. So we watched it all during that period. We were both not feeling well, so
yeah. Overall, I liked it just fine. But
I really liked Catherine Zeta-Jones, and even though I didn't think the actor playing Gomez, I thought.
Luis Guzman looked like hell. Oh my god!
But I do think their relationship's so cute. Like he's so like in love with her, and they're so sweet to each other. But then they have this like villainous. I mean, they're like these creepy, kooky people.
And Jenna Ortega, I thought was fine. But I think we were talking about this with a friend last night. Would have been more interesting since Christina Ricci is still popping, still looks great. Why not have her play the adult Wednesday who has her own kids and just create a new thing instead of making this 8-episode series that's basically taking the best part of Addams Family Values and expanding on it. But,
I thought that it would have been fun to do something where Christina Ricci is like grown up Wednesday, and maybe we follow her with her family, but her kids are like normies. Like, so it's her trying to indoctrinate them with her evil shit, and they're like resistant. I thought that would have made for a good series because Christina Ricci in Wednesday, I think, is quite good, and her little character's plot twist I thought was fun. Let's see.
White Lotus, we haven't. I've been wanting to rewatch the new series. It's just been very busy.
Our podcast is on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, Dogtooth, or some shit. I don't know. It's on a bunch of things. Amazon. But you don't have to have the apps to listen to them. You can hear them like directly from your browser. Okay, people like Interview with a Vampire. Oops. Have you watched Kwaidan? It's a Japanese horror anthology movie.
Yeah, there's a Criterion release of that. That's fun. I think I put that on for a Halloween movie night well over a decade ago. That and maybe Onibaba, which is a lot of fun.
I want to see The Pound by Robert Downey Sr. Have you heard of that?
No, 6 years. I think I've only seen Putney Swope of Robert Downey Sr.'s directorial output. It's the only one I own, at least.
Thank you, A Lobo. It says, I just got back from a study in the jungles of Colombia and was without internet for 2 weeks. Oh.
Wow. I just watched the Colombian Oscar
foreign language
submission, The Kings of the World, and I interviewed that director who was in Cuba, which was very hard getting that set up on because
they don't have Zoom in Cuba.
It's not allowed. Yeah, so we had to go through all these things to speak.
Look at this damn cat. Let's see.
Oh, somebody brought up Smile, the 1975 film. I'd be interested in watching that. I haven't seen it.
Oh, Steve Martin and Martin Short are hosting SNL tonight.
A reunion.
Wow. Well, I know Alec Baldwin is the person to host the most, but I think Steve Martin he's got to be up there, top 5 at least. Guzman is a Gomez that fits the way the comic character looked.
That could be true because
Raul Julia. Yeah, I mean, I think he was super cute. His wig was throwing me off so much because that shit was sitting like an inch too far down. It was just bothering me. But I thought he was cute, and I thought Catherine Zeta-Jones looked really great.
Isn't she in the National Treasure series too?
Oh,
so she's been busy.
We liked Yellow Jackets. You liked it more than I did, I think.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Melissa Hunter's Adult Wednesday shorts on YouTube. Oh.
No, I haven't seen. Okay.
Oh, people like the lives because they get to see our connection. My smile and your sparkly eyes.
They get to see you be real fake.
I like the lives so everyone can see just how fake you are. I don't think I'm fake.
No, you are on your best positive behavior.
You think I'm being on my best behavior right now?
Yeah. As in positive and upbeat, and
I'm pretty morbid generally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the when are y'all doing the best and worst? Oh gosh. Well, I'm like halfway through my 2022 Letterboxd. Oh God, this cat.
The cat's flinging herself.
She keeps. There's a big. I have a Jill Zarin wine cabinet for those Real Housewives of New York fans. And the cat likes to jump on the wine cabinet and then like fling herself onto the dining room table. One day we're going to come home and that wine cabinet's going to be on the floor. And then I forgot what I was saying. Oh, well. Best and worst. I need to finish my Letterboxd because you already know what your best and worst are.
Yeah, which should be published on Spin next week. But because we're filming, I'm also allowed to have a video about it.
I actually don't like those lists. It annoys me like how everyone's doing the Spotify like wrap up in like November.
Yeah,
there's an entire month left.
I might be drilling down into some deep cuts here. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I don't imagine us doing that prior to the end of the year. I would want to do like the first week of January.
No, and there's still a few things I want you to catch up on that I know you'd like.
So there you go. What's the live plan for for New Year's Eve? Well, it might be cute to get on for like a minute and just say hi and toast. I don't know what we would be doing New Year's Eve, but
drugs. No.
Wow. I just watched Top Gun 2 so Maverick. Did you like it? Nick liked it.
I was surprised. Well, because I don't really like the first film, but I was surprised. It does a lot of very fun things.
Yeah,
it's very watchable.
We have not been watching the World Cup, but yes, Christina Ricci's speech in Addams Family Values about the Pilgrims, that's a classic moment. Do we have any recommendations for what to do in LA for New Year's? Absolutely not. Stay your ass at home.
Yeah.
Well, everything's so expensive. And then
I would suggest house parties would be the best. The only enjoyable New Year's I've had in LA are house parties. Going out is atrocious.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a party.
Okay.
It could happen. I don't know who'd come. We're not watching the World Cup.
It'll be like Stella. Nobody shows up to the birthday party.
Wow. You don't have trauma about birthday parties. The cat has thoughts to share. Her little pistachio brain. I don't think so. I thought the new Pinocchio was beautiful. I don't know that I would say it's fun, but I thought it was beautiful. You mentioned Severance briefly in a recent video. Are you planning on doing a review of it? The
series or the movie by Christopher Smith?
What did you reference?
I probably did. I'm assuming I referenced the Christopher Smith film from like 2006, but I remember liking it well enough.
We're not doing a review of the show.
No, but I want to watch it.
We're hilarious. Thank you.
Sometimes.
Not feel pressure to be humorous. The next international trip, you're going to Berlin?
I'll be in Berlin in February for the film festival.
I kind of want to go to PV, but I don't know. We'll see. Old Real. Okay. What does Nick think of the talented Mr. Ripley?
I like it. I'd love for the Minghella version is a lot of fun. And I remember I was in 9th grade when that came out and really tapping into the queerness of it. And I read all of Patricia Highsmith's Ripley books, but there are several other versions. The Inventors has a version, and A Purple Noon with a very handsome Alain Delon, John Malkovich in Ripley's Game. Yeah, Ripley's a fun character, and I think Talented Mr. Ripley is a pretty good representation of Highsmith's material.
What do you think of Menace to Society?
That just got a Criterion release as well. That's probably the best film by the Hughes brothers. I don't know. That's integral watching, especially from like Black independent cinema of the early 90s.
What's my favorite film of all time? Oh gosh. I mean, I always say that there are 3 of them because there are 3 I watch all the time, which is Mommy Dearest, To Wong Fu, and Kingdom Come, which are not critically acclaimed movies. But they make me laugh. Kingdom Come makes me laugh from beginning to end. Kath and Kim. I'm not super familiar with that show.
No.
Is the end of the year crazy busy for movie reviews? No. Is it?
I mean,
are a lot of things released in December?
They are, but we've seen almost all the major releases.
Yeah, I watched Babylon last night. So we'll have 2 reviews for Babylon. One where I didn't watch it, and then one where I did.
Well, you seemed unhappy with that because I rambled.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I probably was a little, but it was just more like like after watching it, I can see why it was probably difficult to.
Yeah, it's a large palette of a film,
but it's pretty basic. Like,
but there are a lot of things to talk about in it.
There are, yeah.
But yeah, Avatar is the last big thing I think for you to see. And we were sick, so we missed a screening of Matilda the musical. So we'll have a very late review for that.
Oh, we're gonna watch that?
Yeah, that's it. I love the book as a kid.
People are saying nice things. Thank you. Is there a price we can pay to make? I mean, indecent proposal. I'm very money motivated. So, you know what
wait? What a price?
Is there a price we can pay to make you guys watch a movie you haven't seen? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that would be.
But we watch things for free.
I know, but you know how like on the jukebox people can pay an extra $1 and their song goes to the top. Like if someone gave me money, would we make a review? I mean, if it was enough money, I'll review anything. Y'all can give me $600 and I'll review Howard the Duck tomorrow. I don't know if 600 is the amount.
Lofty.
Yeah.
Then that to me it's just like you need to do a deep dive if somebody's paying you $600 to watch a movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what the price would be. I guess it would be, I don't know. Well, because I did talk about that once. Like, oh, what if we said like people could pay a price and then we would review the movie and just post it on our channel? But yeah, it would probably, it'd have to be like a normal review, like a 15-minute, because that still takes hours to do between watching it and recording it, editing it, uploading it. So, I wouldn't do it for $50, but I also fantasize about someone paying us, like flying us on a private jet to go watch a movie with them and talk about it over dinner and like give me $10,000. I don't know.
All right.
Well, someone's leaving for PV tomorrow. They'll be there you're there for like a month.
Damn.
So you must be working from there. What's your favorite Christmas horror movie? Black Christmas.
The original Black Christmas is a lot of fun. Olivia Hussey.
Someone's gonna watch Pinocchio tonight. Oh yeah, the intro to Mommy Dearest is so good. With her little washing her face with the ice. It just takes so long to get. Yeah, when we see her, it's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, I did hear about that guy. He's a sports reporter who died on like the field of one of the soccer games. I didn't realize he was gay friendly.
I didn't hear about that.
I only recognized him because when his picture popped up, I thought he was handsome. And then I was reading about him. But yeah, I guess I should read more about him. And he was young. He was like 50 or something.
That's odd. Yeah, I'll have to read more about that.
We should review Tu Wong Fu. So many reviews are saying what you guys said about the whale. Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. Someone said, Mommy Dearest, oh, so you've met my mother. Sadly, I think I would be a lot like Joan Crawford in that movie. The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet.
Oh, Nancy Myers. I have a hard time with Nancy Myers.
Have you heard any rumbles about Dune 2?
No, only that people had to take a break to come visit Venice during the film festival that was going on. I'm excited for it. I have Children of Dune ready to read.
Someone said they just read that David Lynch was Elizabeth Taylor's lover.
Really?
Wow.
That would be an odd.
I've watched Howard the Duck, so my sister and I wore that VHS cassette out.
I didn't see that till I started dating you.
Oh, who's the lady in it who was in Spin City?
Leah Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, we should do a review of Howard the Duck now that I said
Import it. Jeffrey Jones, the pedophile.
The tattoo on my upper arm. This is a reference to Rhythm Nation. It's 1814. I know you can't say anything about the Whitney movie, but do you think? Well, then that's saying something.
I couldn't even put a rating on Letterboxd yet.
Oh, they blocked it?
No, they you can't have their
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to have any social reactions.
social reactions are embargoed as well.
Oh,
as
that's
reviews.
another thing. People comment like, why are you posting this like a month in advance? Like, because I'll post that we've done the video and when it's premiering. And sometimes it'll be like a month, 2 months in advance. Like, that's not by my choice. Well, sometimes it is. If we're like really spoiling a movie that has like a big gag, we'll wait closer to or the day of.
Out of respect.
But yeah. I think the Whitney movie, if you like Whitney Houston, it's something to see. I'll say that.
It's a film that was made to see.
It was a film that was made, and it is 2.5 hours long, and I will say it did clip by.
Again, if you have reverence for the subject, I think that's inevitable. But
yes. So I'll say that. Oh gosh. Okay, we have like 10 minutes left. How are the watch Heathers.
I do for a rewatch of that. It's been a long time.
Have I seen that? I don't know.
With Winona and Christian Slater.
No, I haven't seen that.
Really?
Who's a better director, Guillermo del Toro or Pedro Almodovar?
Oh, that's hard. Because they're both very different.
It's like choosing my favorite child.
Well, del Toro is better with genre. Well, that's what he does. That's his bread and butter. Almodovar's, I think, good with women, with female characters.
600 to review a film, to interview a film critic that totally missed the point with a now beloved film. Oh,
ooh, let's drag Rex Reed.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God.
Well, it's not that he's alive. I think that somebody's still allowing him to be published.
Oh, I'm glad that people who hadn't ever seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf watched it and liked it. I didn't know anything about that thing until I met you, and I was like, wow, this is...
And I had a movie night, and I made a dump cake. What a dump. It made me, rewatching that made me want to rewatch the film she's talking about, which is Beyond the Forest with Bette Davis.
There's a movie called The In Crowd.
Yes.
This is a bad movie someone likes to rewatch.
I have never seen that. I remember when it came out.
Also making sure you know about adding the new Super Thanks button. I think we already have the thanks. Is that the same thanks button I say at the end of every video? Or is there a new thanks button? Hey, why doesn't everyone hit the thanks button and send me money to see if it works? No, no, I'm not a con artist. I'm jelly that Nick gets... Oh, Nick is to go to Berlin in February. I went for the first time this past April. Oh, you went for fun.
I'm the opposite. I've only ever been there in February, and I would love... Every time the locals are always like, it's a different city in the summer. So I'd like to one day. I brought him in 2018.
Berlin is fun. I probably would rather go when it's warmer.
But even the winter's not like Minnesota.
No, it was... I mean, I got away
doable.
with... I got away with just wearing like long sleeves and long johns. Conflicted about the Whitney. I mean, what don't we know? That's what I felt like. I mean, it does.
Well, it's PG-13.
I mean, it's PG-13. It does. I mean, it does go in. It does explicitly show that Whitney and Robin were in a relationship and lived together. And there's no sex per se, but it's very clear they're a couple. So that would be the first time we see it. But other than that, oh yeah, Octavia got her star on the Walk of Fame.
Deserved.
I need to watch Heathers. I know. Do you have a favorite Christian Slater movie?
Oh God. I got maybe Handlers. I don't know. I've never seen Pump Up the Volume. No, True Romance. That's my favorite Christian Slater movie.
All About Eve. We should review that.
Yeah.
Would you review Caligula?
Yes, I have. Have you seen Caligula?
No.
We own it. Helen Mirren and Malcolm McDowell. And that is it. Tinto Brass who produced that. It's basically a porno, but then there's all these actors, these real actors doing all these scenes and violence and sex happening.
Did you finish Kindred?
No, I'm about halfway through.
Caligula is just porn. I would love to go to Belgium.
Although I want to say Tinto Brass also produced a really interesting film called Salon Kitty, starring Ingrid Tulin, about a Nazi brothel madam that has some really interesting moments.
Nick is a superb critic. I'm very impressed with him.
Oh, thank you. I just love movies.
Someone got here late. Greetings and salutations, Christian Slater and Heathers.
And you haven't seen True Romance
With Arnold Schwarzenegger?
That's True Lies.
Oh,
True Romance with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette, Tony Scott film.
Nick watched the new Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Yes, which was fine. I've never seen another film version of it. I read the book as a kid though, and it's a very sexual book. There's D.H. Lawrence wrote a sequel to that, and that's the Pascal Ferrand film from 2006 called Lady Chatterley. It's actually a sequel to Lady Chatterley's Lover. But I like Jack O'Connell. There's male and female nudity.
Wait, true. Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Mm-hmm.
No, Gary Oldman's in True Romance with dreadlocks.
Yes, he's correct. He looks great. And Brad Pitt, I think, is a burnout in it.
Brad Pitt is in it too.
A small role, yep.
Nick is a great critic, very knowledgeable. Yeah. Oh well, maybe I should watch True Romance. Okay, so.
Oh, Used Bayou. Yeah, I just got that on Criterion. And from Casey Lemons, who directed the new Whitney movie.
Someone loves our content. They binge watch it when they can't sleep. We put them to sleep. I know that's not what they mean. Mm-hmm. Nice things. Thank you. I'll be your guide in Ghent, Brussels, and Bruges. Bruges. What is the biggest city in Belgium? Brussels?
Probably Brussels. I would assume Brussels, but I don't know.
Oh, Brussels. Oh, Brussels. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's Criterion?
The Criterion Collection?
It's like
it's a continuing series of whatever their mission statement is, but
they put out like critically acclaimed,
like beautiful remasters with great special features usually, and it's kind of a canon unto itself of film. And if you get a Criterion release, it's notable. And lately, in the past 2 years, they've finally been kind of having a lot of Black cinematic voices being added, like Melvin Van Peebles, and you got Casey Lemons and Bill Duke, and all these great films that have been overlooked forever.
How many Criterion films do you have?
Probably about 800.
800. You didn't pay for any of them, or
well, I used to.
You used
some
to.
of them are old.
Some copies. Are gifts, but
well, 2 or 3 times a year, both Barnes and Noble will do 50% off, and it's usually around the month of my birthday. So it's like that's the time to get them if I'm not getting them for review. I just got Cooley High in the mail today.
Oh yeah. Someone said if Nick doesn't say True Romance, I will throw my phone. Yes, there's a podcast tomorrow. We watched the secret film this morning. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else has got here? My top 5 Janet videos.
Feedback.
Off the top of my head, miss you much. Feedback. Rock with you. If.
Escapade.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well, and all right. Sid, or in the video for All Right is Sid Charisse is in it, mm-hmm. which is a clue to our secret movie tomorrow. Who does the kitty like more?
She follows Joseph around because he gives her treats, even though he would profess to disdain her and hate her. But she cuddles with me more.
Yeah, she doesn't cuddle with me, but she follows me around. I'm wearing a Janet Jackson t-shirt that's supposed to be me, and it says Fish Jelly. Available as merch. There's a link in the description if you'd like one. Yes. Okay, so we should the Busta Rhymes song featuring Janet.
That's a good song.
What's it called? What's it gonna be? Or I forgot. It's not my favorite, but it is an iconic video. Okay, we have 1 minute. What's your favorite Edward Yang movie?
Oh God, probably Yee Yee.
Yee.
Well, I'm trying to think. I watched one of his early films for the first time that they put on the World History Collection. I'm forgetting the title of it though. But you can put in any of his films and it's excellent.
Well, we'll have a live video next Saturday. I don't know what the theme will be. We have some ideas and we got more ideas. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Well, thank you all for watching. Listen to the podcast. Bye.